I noticed her before she said anything. She was in her usual seat, third row by the window. Her desk was already clear, notebook lined up with the edge, pen capped and waiting. She always did that. She prepared before the bell even finished. No rush, no noise, never calling attention to herself. There are students who fill a room just by existing. She was the opposite. She made space for other people to breathe. Attendance was almost done. The class was quiet in that comfortable way when everyone is still waking up. Nothing urgent, nothing dramatic, just a normal start. Then she lifted her hand. I almost missed it. It wasn't fast. It wasn't, "Teacher, I have something." It was careful, like she was asking permission from the air first and from me second. She never raised her hand unless I called on her to read, so I stopped. "Yes?" Her voice came steady at first. She asked if she could move to the front row. That alone was not a problem. Students ask to move all the time. Someone wants to sit with a friend. Someone can't see. Someone is hiding from someone else. It happens. But with her, it was different. She didn't ask for things. She never tried to sit near friends because she didn't get distracted. She never tried to sit near me because she never needed help. She didn't interrupt, didn't test limits, didn't act out when she was tired. She was respectful in a way that felt older than her age. When other teachers talked about the good ones, they meant students like her. So I told her yes immediately. I even pointed to an empty desk in the front row, close to mine. I expected her to stand up, grab her backpack, and move. But she didn't move. She stayed seated, holding the strap of her bag with one hand. Her knuckles were tight. She was looking at me, but not fully at me, more like toward me. And I noticed something in her face I hadn't seen before. She was nervous, not misbehaving nervous, not I forgot the homework nervous, a different kind, the kind that makes you slow down without knowing why. "Is everything okay?" I asked. She took a few seconds before answering. She looked at the board, then back in my direction. Her jaw tightened, like she was choosing whether to say what she was about to say. When she finally spoke again, her voice was softer. "I can't really see from here anymore." The room changed. No one laughed. No one shifted in their chairs. Even the students who never pay attention were suddenly paying attention. It wasn't curiosity, it was respect. I already knew about her right eye. Everyone in that classroom knew. She had lost almost all the vision on that side. It wasn't a secret, but she never used it to get special treatment. She wore thick lenses and kept working like nothing could touch her. She stayed focused, precise, always prepared. She earned every grade she had. What I didn't know, what none of us knew, was that this wasn't about the right eye anymore. "How long has this been happening?" I asked. That was the moment she lowered her head. It took her a few seconds to answer. She pressed her lips together, like she was trying to stay composed. She wasn't dramatic. She wasn't asking for attention. She was trying not to fall apart in front of her classmates. Then she said, quietly, "It started in my left eye. I'm losing it too." The room went silent in a way I've only felt a few times in a classroom, and I understood we were not just talking about changing seats. We were talking about something that could take her vision. All of it. Her name is not important for anyone outside that room. Inside that room, it meant something. When I said her name, students listened. Not because she was loud or popular, but because she was solid, reliable. One of those students other kids know they can ask for help without feeling stupid. I walked to her desk and knelt beside her so I wouldn't have to speak across the whole class. I didn't touch her. I never touch a student in situations like this. You learn fast that even comfort has to respect a boundary. "Is it blurry or is it dark?" I asked. She breathed in through her nose. Slow. Both. Her eyes were steady but tired. Not tired like she hadn't slept. Tired like she'd been carrying something for a long time, without telling anyone. I'd seen that look before, in different versions, on kids who were holding too much. "Since when?" I asked. "A few weeks," she said. "A few weeks. Not days. Weeks." My stomach got tight. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" She looked embarrassed. "I thought it was just strain. I sit back there and the board gets glare sometimes, so I thought it was that. But now it's not just the board. It's people. Faces. I can hear you, but I can't see you clearly unless you're close." I kept my voice calm. "You're having trouble recognizing faces?" "At certain angles," she said. "Especially on my right side. If someone is on that side, sometimes it's just shape. That told me more than she probably realized. That told me this wasn't just inconvenience. That told me this was function. Can you see my hand? I raised my right hand, palm open, a little to the edge of her field of view. Left side, yes, she said. Right side, not really. I nodded. I didn't react out loud. I didn't need the class reading my face and deciding how scared to be. When you're the adult in the room, you don't get to panic in public. Okay, I said. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to move to the front. Today, you sit in the first row. No argument from anybody. I lifted my head just enough to look at the rest of the class. We're making space. Now. Chairs slid. Backpacks shifted. Nobody complained. That part matters. Teenagers can be kind in ways that adults don't always give them credit for. When something is real, actually real, most of them understand. I helped guide her to the front row, not by touching her, but by clearing obstacles. A water bottle that should have been under a desk, a charger cable that never should have been in the walkway, a backpack sitting open like a trap. We made her a straight path. When she sat down, she exhaled, almost like she'd been holding her breath for the past 10 minutes. Better? I asked. It's clearer from here, she said quietly. I can see your face. That shouldn't have hit me the way it did, but it did. I gave the class independent work, annotation and response. Nothing complicated. Something they could do without direct instruction for a few minutes. As they settled, I leaned slightly toward her and kept my voice low. Have you told your mom? She swallowed. That single movement told me more than her words were about to. She knows I've had headaches, she said. She thinks it's because I stay up late studying. Is that what you told her? Yes. Did you tell her about the change in vision? Her eyes started to water, and she blinked fast to stop it. No. Why not? She didn't answer right away. Her jaw moved once, like she was steadying herself. Then she said, because I didn't want her to worry about money. There it was. Not fear. Not denial. Money. I felt something tighten in me. The part of me that shows up when a kid is about to get swallowed by a problem that is bigger than school. Tell me what the doctor said, I asked. She took another breath and finally told me the truth. I already lost almost all the vision in my right eye. You know that. I nodded. And now I'm losing the left. They said it's the same condition. It's degenerative. They're not sure how fast it's moving, but it's moving. I stayed quiet. Sometimes silence is the only way a student keeps talking. Then she told me the part I didn't expect her to say out loud. They said if it keeps going like this, I could lose everything. For a second, I forgot I was in a classroom. I wasn't thinking about lesson plans or pacing charts or state standards. I was thinking about a 16-year-old girl who came to school prepared every single day, who did her work without asking for special rules, who never made anyone else's job harder, sitting in front of me and explaining, like she was explaining homework, that she might go blind. And there's something else, she said. I leaned in just enough so she knew she had my full attention. They said there's a surgery, but it's expensive. Her voice shook on that word. I understood. Surgery means specialist. Specialist means travel. Travel means time off work for whoever takes her. And expensive in situations like this usually doesn't mean a number you can save for by skipping fast food. It means a number that breaks a family. Did they say it would fix it? I asked. She shook her head. It's not a cure. They said maybe it could stop it from getting worse. Maybe, but it's risky. And they don't know if I would get anything back. So not hope. A chance at holding the line. Is that why you didn't tell your mom the full part? I asked. Her answer was immediate. She works 2 jobs. That was it. No drama. Just a fact. She said it the way other kids say. I have practice after school. I felt that familiar pull in me. The one that makes me stop being only the English teacher and start being the adult who will not let a student disappear inside a problem alone. Okay, I said softly. Here's what we're not going to do. We are not going to pretend you're fine. Not anymore. Her breathing picked up. I'm going to talk to the office, I said. Quietly. I'm not going to make a scene. I'm not going to embarrass you in front of anybody. And I'm not going to start rumors. But I'm not letting you carry this by yourself. She nodded. She didn't argue. That told me she was tired. Then she asked me something that I will never forget. She looked at me blinking hard and said, "Can you please not tell the class?" I looked around the room. Every head was down. Pens moving. No whispering. No phones up. They had heard enough to understand something serious was happening. and they were giving her cover by pretending they hadn't. "I won't tell them," I said, "but I am going to get you help." For the first time since she raised her hand, she let herself breathe. And right there, in the middle of a normal school day, I made a decision. This girl was not going to face this alone. Not on my watch. Not in my room. I've learned this job has two versions. There's the official version, the one in the handbook, where you teach your subject. You log attendance, you follow policy, you document concerns, you escalate what is out of your scope. Clean, structured, predictable on paper. And then there's the real version. The real version is that sometimes you're standing in front of 20-something teenagers, holding a dry erase marker, explaining how to analyze tone in a paragraph, and you find out one of them is quietly going blind. So the rest of that period, I ran the class while planning my next steps. I kept my voice even, gave directions, checked a few desks, answered some questions about the assignment. Anyone watching from the hallway would have said it looked like any other day. That's part of the job too. You can't let panic trickle into a room full of kids who still need to feel safe enough to focus. But behind that calm, my mind was already moving. Step 1, get her documented support without turning her into a spectacle. Step 2, get her mother in the loop in a way that doesn't create a public scene. Step 3, figure out what expensive surgery means in numbers, not just in fear. I sent the class to lunch a minute early so the hallway wouldn't be crowded when they left. I told them, "Go, slowly, no running. I'll meet you in the cafeteria." Most of them cleared out fast. A few lingered, trying to act casual while clearly trying to figure out if she was okay. Teenagers pretend they're not paying attention, but they pay attention to everything. When the room was finally quiet, I sat in the desk in front of hers. We were almost at eye level. "I'm going to ask you something important," I said. "I want you to answer honestly. If you don't want to answer, you can tell me that too. Deal?" She nodded. "Has this already started to affect you outside the classroom? Walking, crossing the street, using stairs, anything like that?" She opened her mouth, then closed it. That pause told me everything I needed. "Sometimes at home," she finally said. "The hallway light in our apartment is dim. If I get up at night, I have to hold the wall or I'll run into the bookshelf. Sometimes I think somebody is standing there, but it's just the coat rack." I felt a wave of cold in my chest. "Have you fallen?" I asked. "Not hard," she said quickly. "Just bumped into things. I'm fine. Fine." Students say, "I'm fine," when they're anything but fine. "Okay," I said instead of arguing. "Next question. Were you planning to tell anyone today if I hadn't asked why you wanted to move?" She didn't answer right away. She looked at the clock, then at the floor, then back at me. "No." That hurt more than I show on my face in front of a student. A kid who can't see the board anymore, who's losing faces, who is holding walls in the dark, was planning to say nothing. "Why not?" I asked. Her eyes welled again, and she pressed her mouth into a line to hold it down. "Because I don't want to be the problem." That landed like a punch. Let me be clear. This girl turned in every assignment early. She asked thoughtful questions without trying to sound impressive. She never rolled her eyes. She never made someone else feel small to protect herself. She apologized when other kids interrupted me. And in her mind, she was the problem. This is something adults do to kids without realizing. We reward the ones who don't complain, and then we act surprised when they're in real danger and still trying to make it easy for us. "You are not the problem," I said. She shook her head. "I mean it," I said. "You are not the problem. The situation is the problem." She didn't argue, but she didn't agree either. Sometimes they need time to believe you. "Okay," I said softly. "Here's how this is going to work. I'm stepping out for 5 minutes. I'm going to talk to the office. You are going to sit here. You're not in trouble, and you're not being left. I'll be right back." Her first instinct was to say, "You don't have to." That alone told me how much she's used to carrying by herself. "I know I don't have to," I said. "I'm doing it anyway." I left her with a printed copy of the day's text so she wouldn't need to read the board. Then I walked straight to the main office. Now here's the part people don't always understand. I care about my students like they're mine, but I'm still not her parent. There are lines I'm not allowed to cross, and lines I should never cross. That matters. Loving a student is not the same thing as owning the situation. My job is not to take over her life. My job is to protect her inside the space where I'm responsible. and to activate what needs to be activated outside of it. I found Patricia, our academic coordinator. Patricia is efficient, direct, and allergic to drama. Exactly who I needed. I need a parent contact for one of my students, I told her quietly. Medical, urgent, not behavioral. She looked up from her computer immediately. Is she safe right now? Yes, I said. She's in my room. She's stable. But I don't want her walking the halls alone. That answer matters. When you speak to admin, you give status first. Safe or unsafe. Active threat or not. Then you give detail. Tell me, she said. I kept it factual. Student has documented severe vision loss in one eye. Today she disclosed rapid loss in the other eye. She's having trouble reading the board from the third row and trouble identifying faces from certain angles. She reports possible depth issues in low light at home. Patricia's face changed. She didn't interrupt. She hasn't fully informed her mother, I said. Mother is aware of headaches, but not the progression. There's mention of a degenerative condition and a potential surgical intervention that is financially out of reach. Patricia stopped typing. How old is she? I told her. Okay, she said. We're calling home now. We're logging this. And we're flagging for counselor review today, not next week. I'll loop in Helena after we reach the parent. That last part, involving Helena, our principal, meant this was now officially bigger than my classroom. Good. That's where it needed to be. I want to be clear, I said. The student does not want public attention. We'll keep it private, Patricia said. Has she fallen here? Not that she's reported, I said. But I don't like her walking crowded hallways by herself right now. Patricia nodded. I'll write a hallway escort note until we get medical clearance. She won't have to ask teachers for permission every single time. That was exactly what I wanted. Support that didn't make her beg for it in front of other kids. Thank you, I said. This is your prep period? Patricia asked. No, I said. I left them with independent work. Patricia stared at me. And you're calm? No, I said. I'm managing. She gave me one short nod. Go back to your room. I'll update you after I reach her mother. That was the moment I made another decision. I was not only going to get her immediate support, I was going to make sure money was not the reason this girl went blind. At that point, I didn't know how yet. I just knew I wasn't letting it happen. When I walked back into the classroom, she was exactly where I left her. Hands folded on the desk, body still, pretending to work on the printed passage I gave her. But I could tell she hadn't written a single word. Her shoulders were tight. The rest of the class was finishing the assignment. A few kids looked up when I came in. I gave them a small nod like everything was normal. It was enough. They went back to their papers. I sat on the desk right in front of hers again, keeping my voice low. I spoke to the office. I said, "We're contacting your mom. This is staying private. You're not in trouble. You're not being pulled out in front of everyone. You're safe. I promised you that, and I'm keeping it." She let out a long breath through her nose. Her eyes were glassy, but she was holding herself together. She was always careful about that, never letting herself be the center. Then she said something that made my throat tighten. Are they mad at me? It took me a second to answer, because I had to push down my first reaction, which was anger on her behalf. Anger that she even thought saying "I can't see" could make an adult mad. "No," I said. "No one is mad at you. You did the right thing by telling me. You should have told me sooner, but I'm very glad you told me now." Her mouth pulled into this small, shaky, almost smile. Not happy, relieved, the kind of smile you make after holding your jaw in pain too long. "Okay," she whispered. I stayed with her until the bell. When the bell finally rang, I kept her back while I dismissed the rest of the room. I made it look casual. "Hey, you two. Walk her to the cafeteria, please. I'll be right behind you." So nobody would crowd or stare. After the hall cleared, she stood, but not right away. She hesitated like she was replaying the last hour and trying to decide if she'd made a mistake by telling me anything at all. Then she looked at me and asked, quiet, "Is this going to change how you grade me?" That question did something to me, because here's what she was really asking. Am I still going to be seen as capable, or am I about to be treated like a project? "No," I told her. "Your grade is your grade. I'm not lowering expectations for you. I'm changing the conditions so you can meet them without hurting yourself." Her shoulders dropped in visible relief. That mattered to her more than anything else I'd said. "Go eat," I told her. "I'll walk with you." We stepped into the hallway together. I stayed on her left side, not blocking her way, just close enough that if someone cut in front of her too fast, I could slow them down with a hand on a shoulder and a look. Nothing dramatic, just presence. The hallway was busy, lockers slamming, voices bouncing off tile, sneakers on linoleum, and she did fine, but I could see the work it took. She turned her head more than most students do, almost scanning. She was compensating, and she was pretending it was easy. That's what scared me most. By the time lunch was halfway through, Patricia had reached her mother and scheduled a meeting for that same afternoon. Patricia came to my door and gave me the update in a low tone while the class was working in pairs. "Mom's coming in at the end of the day," she said. She sounded worried. "She said she didn't realize it was this bad." I nodded. "She didn't tell her." Patricia pressed her lips. "Of course she didn't." "Do we have her medical paperwork on file?" I asked. "Only the old documentation for the right eye," Patricia said. "Nothing recent. We're going to ask the mother to bring any new reports. We need something formal so we can write accommodations without guesswork." Good. That meant we were heading in the direction I wanted. Documented support, not favors. "Helena wants to sit in," Patricia added. That made sense. When the principal comes in on day one, it means the school is treating this as serious and immediate. Not, "We'll keep an eye on it." Not, "Let's see how it develops." Action now. "And Madison?" Patricia said, looking straight at me. "This stays inside the circle. You, me, Helena, counselor, parent. No broadcast." "Agreed," I said. She nodded once and left. The rest of the day I functioned. I taught. I reviewed essays. I monitored group work. I redirected 2 kids who couldn't stop talking about something that happened in gym. I joked lightly once, on purpose, just to loosen the room after a tense debate about an article. I said, "If you all use literally one more time when you mean emotionally, I'm going to start deducting points for crimes against the language." That got a few smiles. I let it land for 3 seconds, then brought them right back to focus. But underneath, my mind never left her. I kept replaying the way she had said, "I didn't want to be the problem." I kept thinking about her holding a hallway wall in the dark so she wouldn't walk into a bookcase. I kept thinking about her saying, "expensive," like that word alone made the whole situation untouchable. That word is a wall for some families. It shuts the conversation down before it even starts. Here's something most people don't see. When a student tells you we can't afford it, that doesn't just mean we don't have extra money. Sometimes it means rent is at risk if we even try. Sometimes it means if my mom misses one shift to take me to a specialist, we don't eat. Sometimes it means there is no safety net. We are the net. So I did something I have done before, but only in very specific situations. I opened my desk drawer and pulled out a small spiral notebook I keep for what I call quiet emergencies. Quiet emergencies are situations where the student needs help now, but the help itself cannot turn into a show. Inside that notebook, I write facts. Only facts. No emotion. No guessing. No storytelling. Because if it ever needs to leave my hands, I want it to be clean and professional. I wrote, student, female, known, severe vision loss, right eye, long-standing, new, progressive loss, left eye, a few weeks, difficulty reading board from third row, difficulty identifying faces from right side, reported depth peripheral issues in low light at home, safety, reports bumping into objects, denies major falls, medical degenerative condition, surgery mentioned, not affordable, not guaranteed to restore vision, framed as, maybe stop it from getting worse. Parent, partially informed, unaware of current progression, emotional state, protective of parent, avoiding disclosure due to money, concerned about being seen as the problem, academic, high-performing, consistent, never asks for exceptions, wants expectations maintained, immediate need, front row seating, hallway escort during passing periods, large print access to board material. I stopped there. I didn't write anything I couldn't back up if someone asked where I got it. Then I added one last line for me, not for the file. Long-term funding barrier. That was the first time I allowed myself to say it in concrete terms instead of just feel it. We weren't just fighting vision loss. We were fighting cost. By the last period of the day, I had made up my mind. If money was the wall, then we were going to have to take the wall down. But I also understood something else. And this part matters. If I moved wrong, I could turn her medical crisis into public entertainment. I was not going to let that happen. So I started working through how to do it right. No announcements in class, no pressure on students to give, no turning her into a poster, no sharing her name without consent, no details that belonged to her mother being spread without her mother's approval. I wasn't interested in charity theater. I wanted an actual solution. When the final bell rang and most of the building started to empty, I walked with her to the office for the meeting with her mother. She was quiet on the way down. I could feel the anxiety rolling off her. Not loud panic, heavy anticipation, the kind that sits on a kid's chest when they know adults are about to discuss their future while they're in the room. At the office door, she stopped and looked up at me. "Am I in trouble?" she asked again. "No," I said. "You're being protected." That was the first moment she let herself look scared, and that was also the moment I realized something I hadn't allowed myself to think all day. This might get worse, fast, if we don't move. We walked in together. Her mother was already there. Her mother was standing by the small round table in Patricia's office, holding her purse with both hands like she was bracing herself. She looked tired in a way that doesn't come from one bad night. It was the kind of tired that settles into a person when they've spent too long holding everything up by themselves. Patricia was already there. Helena, our principal, was there too. I took the last chair. The student sat next to her mother, a little angled toward her, like she was ready to protect her from the conversation, even though she was the one who needed protecting. Patricia started the way she always does in delicate situations. Calm, focused, factual. "Thank you for coming in," she said to the mother. "We wanted to talk about something important regarding your daughter's vision and make sure you have the full picture." Her mother nodded, but her face had that held expression I recognize in a lot of parents. "Please don't tell me something I can't afford to fix," Patricia continued. Today in class, she shared that she's having trouble seeing the board from the third row. She also shared that she started having difficulty recognizing faces and navigating in low light. She reported that this is new. Her mother turned immediately to her. "Why didn't you tell me that?" The girl swallowed. "Because you're already working a lot." That was it. No drama. Just that. Because you're already working a lot. Her mother closed her eyes for a second. I could see guilt hit her like a wave. I've sat in a lot of meetings like this. That moment is always the same. The parent thinks they failed, and the kid thinks they're protecting the parent, and neither of them is wrong, and neither of them is the problem. Helena leaned forward, voice steady. "Before we keep going, I want to be very clear about something," she said. "Your daughter is not in trouble. She didn't do anything wrong. We asked you to come because we want to keep her safe and we want to support you. That's all." The mother nodded without looking at Helena. She was still looking at her daughter. Then she spoke. "Is it getting worse that fast?" Her daughter answered in a quiet voice. "Yes." "How fast?" the mother asked, and her voice broke a little on the word, fast. The girl hesitated. Then she said, "I can't see the board from where I sit anymore." Her mother pressed her lips together to stop them from shaking. "Okay," she whispered. "Okay." Patricia glanced at me, then back at the mother. "Has she already been seen by a specialist recently?" "Yes," the mother said. "We've been going. We've been doing everything they said. She already can't see on the right side. You know that. They said the left side was stable. They said it might hold. Then last month they said it started to slip. Do you have documentation of that?" Helena asked. Careful, respectful. The mother nodded. "At home." "I can bring it." "Please do," Helena said. "We'll need it on file. We're going to write accommodations, and we're going to do it the correct way instead of making her ask for favors, teacher by teacher every single period." That mattered. The mother sat up a little taller. You could feel the room shift. We weren't talking about pity. We were talking about structure. Then Patricia asked the question I had been waiting to hear, asked in front of everyone, in the open, like it deserved to be. "Can we talk about the procedure?" The mother exhaled and rubbed her forehead. She didn't answer right away. When she did, it was careful. "They said there's a surgery," she said. "It's not guaranteed to fix anything. It won't make her see normal, but they said it could slow the damage in the left eye. If we don't do it, they said she could lose everything. If we do it, they said maybe she keeps what's left." That matched what the girl had told me. Helena's tone stayed even. "Has a date been offered?" "Yes," the mother said, "but I told them I couldn't schedule it yet." "Because of work?" Patricia asked. The mother let out a short, humorless breath. Because of money, she said. The room went quiet. How much? Helena asked. She didn't say it the way a person says, so I can judge you. She said it the way a principal says, so I can plan. The mother looked down at her hands. It's more than I make in 2 months. That's just the procedure. That's not the medication. That's not getting there. That's not follow-up visits. They said I could try applying for assistance, but they also said it takes time, and I don't know if time is something we have. Her daughter kept her eyes on the table. You could see her shoulders tighten with every word. I knew why. She hated this part. She hated being a cost. That was the moment I felt it fully hit me. If nothing changed, this girl was going to lose her sight for a number on a piece of paper. I took a slow breath and spoke. Can I say something? I asked. Helena nodded. Patricia nodded. The mother looked at me. I want you to know, I said to the mother, your daughter did not come to me asking for money. She did not ask me to fix this. She only asked to move to the front of the room so she could see. Her mother covered her mouth for a second. Her eyes filled. She wasn't crying. She was holding it in. I kept going. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to think she was trying to go around you. She wasn't. She was trying not to worry you. She was trying to protect you. Her mother turned her face away just enough to breathe. When she looked back at me, her voice was quiet. That sounds like her. It does, I said. Then I turned slightly toward Helena and Patricia. I'm going to propose something, I said, and I want to be completely transparent while I say it. Both of them watched me closely. I think we should organize help, I said. Financial help. The mother straightened in her chair. Her first instinct was to shake her head. No, she said fast. No, I don't want her. I lifted a hand gently. Let me finish. I'm not talking about standing in front of the school with a jar. I'm not talking about making her story public without control. I'm talking about doing this in a way that protects her dignity, protects your privacy, and gets this paid for. The mother's eyes were on mine. She didn't blink. Helena leaned back, thinking. Go on, she said. There are people who will help, I said. Former students, parents in the community, staff, people who don't even know her. But they don't know there's a need. They don't know this is urgent. If we create a page explaining the situation clearly, what the condition is, what the surgery is, what the realistic goal is, and if the family has full control over the funds, we can move. Quietly, but fast. Patricia nodded slowly. A donation page. Yes, I said. A fundraiser. With the mother's account as the direct receiver. No middle person. No school money. No confusion. Helena tapped her finger lightly on the table. We would have to be careful with wording, she said. No promises we can't verify. No medical claims we can't back up. And we cannot imply school sponsorship if it's not an official school initiative. Agreed, I said immediately. It would not say the school is raising money. It would say, here's a student in our community. Here is her medical situation. Here is what the doctors said. Here is the cost. Nothing extra. No dramatizing. No pressure language. Just facts. The mother was still watching me. Her eyes had changed. The first look was defensive. Now it was something else. Hope, but the kind of hope that's scared to exist. She swallowed. People would really give? She asked, like she was testing the word. Yes, I said. Patricia spoke then. They will, she said quietly. We've seen this for other families. People care. They just don't always know when to act. Helena turned to the mother. This is your choice, she said. We are not doing anything without your approval. Nothing goes online unless you say yes. No one says your name unless you consent. No one says your daughter's name unless you consent. You will be the one linked to the account. You will have full access. All we would do is help write, help share, and help organize. The mother covered her face with both hands. She stayed like that for a few seconds, breathing. Her daughter reached over and touched her arm gently. That tiny gesture said everything about how they live. She wasn't asking for rescue. She was sorry for needing anything. Finally, the mother dropped her hands and looked at me. What would you write? She asked. So I told her. I would write that your daughter is losing her vision to a degenerative condition. I would write that doctors have offered a surgical procedure that could slow or stop further loss in the only eye she has left. I would write that the procedure is expensive and that you are doing everything you can, but you cannot cover it alone. I would write that you have been working non-stop, and that your daughter has never asked for special treatment in school. I would write that she is trying to keep up, that she is still doing her work, that she wants to keep learning and keep her independence. Her mother's eyes filled again, and this time she let a few tears fall. Helena stayed quiet. Patricia stayed quiet. The girls stared at the table. Then the mother nodded. "Okay," she whispered. "Okay, you can say that." The girl looked up fast. "Mom!" Her mother turned to her. "I'm not losing you because of money," she said. Her voice shook, but her face didn't. The room went completely still. That was the moment it became real. Not an idea, a plan. We outlined immediate steps. Patricia would help the mother gather the medical language so we could describe the condition accurately. Helena would review final wording to make sure we weren't exposing the school legally. I would draft the first version of the fundraiser post and send it privately to the mother for approval before anything went live. The account listed for donations would be hers, not mine, not the school, hers. "Is there anything you don't want included?" I asked. The mother wiped her face with the back of her hand. "Don't say the number," she said. I understood why. Saying the number makes people do math on your life. "I won't," I said. She nodded. Our student had been quiet through most of this. Then, in a voice so small I almost didn't hear it, she asked a question that went straight through me. "What if it doesn't work?" Her mother turned to her and put a hand on her shoulder. "We're still going to try," she said. It was simple, steady, final. No promise you'll see again. No lie. Just, we're going to try. I felt the air change in that room. There are moments in this job when a line gets drawn. Before the line, you're reacting. After the line, you're moving. This was the line. We ended the meeting with concrete next steps. Patricia printed a temporary hallway support note, so teachers would know she shouldn't be navigating crowded transitions alone. Helena authorized large print and front row placement in every class. Effective immediately, no arguing. The mother agreed to bring medical paperwork the next morning. Before they left, the girls stood and looked at me. Her voice was almost steady when she said, "Thank you for not telling the class." "I told you I wouldn't," I said. Then she added, in an even quieter tone, "And thank you for not acting like I'm broken." I felt that. I can still feel it. "You're not," I said. She nodded once. They walked out together, mother with her hand on her daughter's shoulder, daughter walking a little closer to her than she had when they walked in. When the door closed, Helena exhaled. Patricia turned to me and said, "You know what you just signed yourself up for, right?" "Yes," I said. Patricia gave me a look. "This isn't going to be small." "I know," I said. Helena leaned forward. "You're sure you're prepared to run point on this?" Prepared wasn't the word. I was already in it. "She's not going to lose her sight because nobody asked for help," I said. "Not while she's sitting in my classroom." That was it. That was the decision. That was the moment this stopped being only about one seat in the front row and became something else entirely. The plan moved faster than anything I've seen in a school setting that wasn't an emergency lockdown. That night, I wrote the first draft of the fundraiser text. I kept it simple. No dramatic language, no begging, just the truth. A student in our community is losing her vision to a degenerative condition. She has already lost almost all sight in her right eye. Her left eye has started to fail. Doctors have offered a surgical procedure that could stop further loss. The cost is out of reach for the family. If we act now, she has a chance to keep the vision she still has. I attached a short paragraph about her work ethic, how she shows up prepared, turns in every assignment on time, asks for nothing, and helps classmates without being asked. I sent it to Patricia. Patricia and Helena checked the wording and made small adjustments. Then I sent it to her mother. Her mother wrote back one sentence: "You can post." The fundraiser went live that same evening. We did it the way we agreed. Her mother's account was linked. Her mother's name was shown. Her daughter's name was not. I did not mention our school by name, and I did not identify myself as anything except her teacher. Then I sent the link to a very short list of people, former students I trusted, 2 parents in the community who I knew had organized mutual aid before, a couple of colleagues who had been here long enough to understand privacy and not turn this into gossip. I thought maybe, if we were lucky, we could get a few $100s in the first day, enough to prove to her mother that this was real, that people would actually care. By the next morning, it had already passed that. By lunch, it was 4 times that. By the end of that first full day, it was sitting at a number that made me sit down, and then it started spreading. I watched it happen in real time. Someone shared it with an old class group chat and added, "This is about one of ours. Please read." Another person shared it with family out of state. Someone else sent it to a church group. A parent I didn't even know messaged me, asking if the link was legitimate. "Yes," I wrote back. "It is legitimate." Within an hour, that same parent had shared it with 3 more people. Then former students started messaging me directly. One of them wrote, "Miss Carter, I don't have a lot, but I donated and I'm sending it around. She deserves this." Another wrote, "Tell her she's not alone. I didn't tell the girl any of that yet. I didn't want to put weight on her before we had something certain." At school the next day, I kept things normal on purpose. She sat in the front row with large print copies. I adjusted the board work. I read aloud anything I wrote up there. When we moved between classes, either I or another teacher walked with her. Not in a way that made her stand out, but in a way that made sure she didn't have to guess where the crowd was going. Midway through the day, Patricia stepped into my room and tapped my desk. I walked over. "It's almost there," she said. My heart jumped. "Almost where?" She told me the number. For a second, I couldn't answer. I had expected days, weeks. I had prepared myself for the possibility that we would have to beg publicly, make phone calls, explain over and over, ask for favors. I had prepared myself for needing to convince strangers that this girl's sight was worth their money. Instead, in less than 2 days, the fundraiser was already within reach of the number her mother wouldn't let me put in writing. "Are you serious?" I asked. Patricia nodded. "Her mother just called. She's shaking. She said to tell you thank you and also to tell you to please stop telling people to send money because she's overwhelmed." I had to take a breath and lower my head for a second so I wouldn't react in front of the class. "Is Helena looped?" I asked. "Yes," Patricia said. "Helena said she's proud of how this was handled. Her words, not mine. She also said to document everything, and I already did. That part mattered. We were going to keep this clean, traceable, and honest. No rumors. No drama. No one twisting this into a story it wasn't." After school, I asked her and her mother to stop by before they left. They came to my room together. The girl sat at a desk in the front row. Her mother stayed standing like she wasn't sure if she should sit in a student chair. The girl looked like she'd been holding her breath for a full day. Her mother looked like she hadn't processed anything yet because she hadn't had time. I closed the door. "We're close," I told them. Her mother let out a short sound that wasn't quite a laugh and wasn't crying either. She covered her mouth. The girl blinked fast. "Close to what?" "To scheduling," I said. She stared at me. "Already?" "Yes." Her hand went to her face over her glasses. "That fast?" "Yes." She sat very still. Then she said, "So I'm going to get the surgery?" Her mother turned toward her. "We're going to call tomorrow morning," she said. "We're going to tell them we're ready. I'm not waiting anymore." The girl was quiet for a long moment. Then she did something I had not seen her do all year. She broke. Not loud, not dramatic, just a full body release. Head down, shoulders shaking, both hands over her face. The kind of release you only see when a kid realizes they don't have to hold everything up anymore. Her mother pulled her close and held her. I looked away and gave them that moment. I walked to my desk, sat down, and let myself exhale for the first time in almost 2 straight days. I knew what she was feeling. I've seen it enough times to recognize it. Relief, fear, hope, all of it hitting at once, and none of it fully safe to believe yet. When she finally lifted her head, her eyes were red. She wiped them quickly like she was embarrassed. "I'm sorry," she said. "No," I said, and my voice came out sharper than I meant. "Don't apologize for that. Not to me. Not to anyone." She nodded fast. Then she looked at me and asked, "Can I still sit in the front row?" That almost made me laugh. I swallowed it. "Yes," I said. "You're not going back to the 3rd row. You're staying where you can see. That's permanent." "Even in other classes?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "Every teacher has been notified." Her mother let out a breath. I could see in her face what that alone meant. We weren't making her daughter beg for accommodation in every room, every period, every day. I turned to the mother. "One more thing," I said. "Please listen carefully." She nodded. From this point on, people are going to ask questions. They're going to want details. Some of them are going to mean well. Some of them are just going to be curious. You do not owe anyone anything you don't want to share. If you feel pressured, you send them to me or to Patricia. We will handle it. Her mother blinked, then nodded again. Thank you, she said quietly. The girl wiped her face again. Are people going to talk about me? Yes, I said honestly. They are. But listen to me. They're not talking because you did something wrong. They're talking because they've decided you matter. She breathed in and held it. Then she let it go slowly. Okay, she said. A few days later, her mother called Patricia to confirm it. The surgery was officially scheduled. When I saw the girl in class after that call, she was different. Not carefree, not suddenly relaxed. She was still scared. Anyone would be. But there was something else under it now. Something steady. She raised her hand at the start of class. I walked over. Can I say something? She asked quietly. Yes. Thank you for not letting me pretend I was fine, she said. I felt my throat tighten. I will always move you to the front row, I said. She laughed, a small, real laugh, and shook her head. That's not what I meant, she said. I know what she meant. I knew then, and I know now. That moment, that exact moment, is the one I still think about. Because everything that came after, the fundraiser, the support, the scheduling, the hope, all of that started with something that seemed small. A girl raised her hand and asked to change seats, and the whole room went quiet. The surgery date came fast after that. Too fast for comfort, fast enough to make it feel real. In the days leading up to it, she stayed in the front row in every class. That was now routine. No one argued. No one rolled their eyes. Kids adjusted around her without being told. I watched boys who usually shove through the hallway slow down and make space so she wouldn't get knocked off balance. I watched girls who barely spoke to her before quietly walk beside her between periods so she didn't have to navigate crowds alone. No announcements were made. Nobody called it a favor. They just did it. Her mother brought us the paperwork from the specialist. We made copies for the file. Patricia and Helena built formal accommodations based on that documentation. Large print material, controlled seating, escorted transitions during crowded passing times, protected testing conditions so she wouldn't be penalized for something she physically could not see. It wasn't special treatment. It was basic fairness. The fundraiser passed the goal. It didn't just pass it. It went beyond it. Money kept coming from people who had never met her and still felt responsible for her future. Former students wrote messages saying things like, "She deserves to see her life," and "Tell her she's not alone." We never made any of those messages public without permission, but I held on to them. I wanted her to know, when she was ready to hear it, that people who had already left this building still felt connected to the kind of person she was. When I looked at her in class, I saw two things at once. On the surface, she was still herself, binder open, notes clean, focus locked, the kind of student who will keep working even when the world is shaking under her feet. Underneath, she was scared. She tried not to show it, mostly for her mother's sake, but it was there. She blinked a little slower sometimes, like she was memorizing what she could still see. She angled her head a certain way when she looked up at me, like she was trying to hold on to detail. She didn't complain. She never did. But she would sit there and steady her breathing like she was getting ready to step into something huge. On the last day before the procedure, she stayed after class when everyone else left. It was just us. The room was quiet in that end-of-day way, with old marker smell and the low hum of the lights. She stood in front of my desk and smoothed her hands down the front of her shirt like she was trying to get rid of nervous energy. "Can I ask you something?" she said. "Yes. What if it doesn't work?" I knew that question was coming, because it's the only question you can't answer with a plan. I didn't lie to her. I will never lie to a student about something this serious. "It might not fix anything," I said. "They were honest about that. You already know it." She nodded. She did know. "But listen to me," I said. "You are not going into this alone. You are going into this with your mother, and with this entire building behind you, and with people you've never met standing next to you whether you see them or not. Whatever happens, you're not going to have to carry it by yourself again. That part is over." Her eyes filled, but she didn't look away. "Okay," she whispered. Then she did something that told me exactly who she is. She asked, "Can I still have the same expectations in class after?" Not, "Can I take a break?" Not, Can I stop trying? Not can I be done? Can I still be treated like me? Yes, I said. You are still you. She let out a long breath. That answer mattered to her more than any "it's going to be fine" ever could. When she left my room, I sat alone for a few minutes and let myself feel the weight of what had just happened. All of it, start to finish. A girl raised her hand and asked to change seats. That was the first moment. From there, the rest unfolded. The disclosure, the meeting, the plan, the fundraiser, the community response, the scheduling. Her mother saying, "I'm not losing you because of money." Patricia moving without delay. Helena authorizing support the same day, not the next week. Students protecting her in the hallway without asking for credit. Strangers giving without needing attention for it. People talk about school like it's just grades and discipline. They think the most important part of our work is test scores, deadlines, rule enforcement, routine. And it is, in one way. Structure matters. Expectations matter. Safety matters. But there's another part people don't always see. Sometimes a student walks in and quietly tells you they're running out of time. Sometimes you look at a kid and you understand, in 1 second, that what you do next is going to matter for the rest of their life. Sometimes your job is to explain theme and tone and sentence structure for 50 minutes, and then, without changing your voice, without making a scene, without turning the class into an audience, you shift into full protection mode. Not because you want to be a hero. That's not the work. Because you refuse to let a 16-year-old carry a crisis alone, just to make things easier for the adults in the room. She didn't ask for attention. She didn't ask for special treatment. She asked to move to the front row. And when she told me why, the entire room fell silent. That silence wasn't shock. It was respect.